My name is Ahmed. I am 34 years old. There is one Ramadan I will never forget. When I think about it, my chest feels heavy, not because something big happened that day, but because I did not know it was the last one. Ramadan was always my mother's favorite month. She loved everything about it. The early mornings, the long fasts, the quiet nights, the soft prayers. She used to say, Ramadan is a guest. When it comes, we must welcome it with love. I did not understand her words before. Now I do. My mother was not a rich woman. She did not study for many years. She could not speak big English, but she had a very big heart. Every Ramadan she changed. She smiled more. She forgave faster. She gave more food to people. Even when we did not have much, I still remember the sound of plates in the kitchen before suhoor. Soft, slow, careful. She never wanted to wake us with noise. She would open my door gently. Ahmed, it is time. Her voice was always soft in the morning. Not tired, not complaining, just warm. Like the first light under the curtain. Sometimes I was tired. Sometimes I said, 5 more minutes. She would smile and say, okay, but don't miss the blessing. Then she would leave quietly. She never forced me. She trusted me to get up. I did not know I was living inside a memory. That year, I was very busy. Work was hard. I wanted more money. I wanted a promotion. I wanted a better life. I thought time was waiting for me. But my mother was not strong that year. She got tired quickly. She coughed a lot, but she still fasted. Mama, you are sick. You should rest. I told her. She smiled. I will rest later. Ramadan only comes once. Every evening she cooked iftar. Soup, rice, small plates of fruit. Nothing expensive. Nothing special. But it tasted like love. As a child, I always wondered why her food tasted different from anyone else's. Now I understand. She did not just cook with her hands. She cooked with prayer, patience, and years of love. Many days I came home late, sometimes after Maghrib, sometimes after everyone had eaten. She always kept my plate warm. Work is important, she would say. Eat before it gets cold. I did not see the sadness in her eyes. One night I remember clearly. It was the 21st night of Ramadan. One of the special nights. She called me in the afternoon. Ahmed, will you come home early today? We can eat together. I looked at the clock in my office. There was still so much work. I'll try, I said. But I did not try. I left the office very late. When I reached home, the house was too quiet. The table was clean. The lights were off. Only the kitchen light was on. She was sitting there alone. Her food was finished. My plate was covered. You didn't wait? I asked. She smiled. I was a little tired today. I did not sit with her. I was angry about work. I was thinking about money. I ate quickly and went to my room. That was the night she cried. I did not know. I found out months later. My sister told me she heard her crying through the wall. A soft cry, the kind someone makes when they do not want to be heard. That night, after my sister told me, I could not sleep. I kept thinking about the kitchen light, the covered plate, and my mother sitting alone. The next morning, I woke up late and missed suhoor. She did not wake me. Why didn't you call me? I asked. You looked tired, she said softly. I didn't want to disturb you. I felt bad, but only a little. I told myself I would make it up to her after Ramadan. After Ramadan. A few days later, she fainted in the kitchen while cutting vegetables for iftar. My sister screamed. We ran to her. Her face was pale. Her hands were cold. At the hospital, the doctor said, "She is very weak. She needs rest. No fasting." My mother looked at me calmly. "It's okay," she said. "I have fasted many years." She said it peacefully, as if she already knew something we did not. When she came home, she stayed in bed. For the first time in my life, the kitchen was silent in Ramadan. No plates, no soft footsteps, no gentle voice at my door. The house felt empty. One evening, I tried to cook. The soup burned. I felt angry. I felt lost. How did she do this every day for so many years? I thought about all the mornings. She stood at the stove before the sun came up, cooking for a family that was still sleeping, and we never once said, "Mama, thank you." One night I sat beside her bed. She looked smaller, like a child. "Ahmed," she said softly, "are you fasting well?" "Yes." "Are you praying?" "Yes." She smiled. "Good. Ramadan is not only about hunger, it is about the heart." I nodded, but my heart was still asleep. On the 27th night, she asked me to help her sit up. "I want to pray a little." Her hands were shaking as she raised them. Her lips moved quietly. I do not know what she asked for. Maybe health, maybe forgiveness, maybe for her children. I watched her carefully that night. For the first time, I truly watched her pray. Her face was calm, full of trust, like she was speaking to someone who was listening. After she finished, she looked at me for a long time, as if she wanted to remember my face. Eid came. People were happy. Children were laughing, but my mother could not get out of bed. She only watched us. I sat beside her. For the first time, I did not check my phone. I did not think about work. I just sat with her. She held my hand. "You are a good son," she said. Something broke inside me because I knew I was not. 2 weeks after Ramadan, she passed away. It was early morning, the same time she used to wake me for suhoor. But this time she did not wake up. The house was full of people. Everyone was crying. I stood there quietly. I wanted to say sorry. Sorry for coming home late. Sorry for eating alone. Sorry for thinking there would be more time. But her eyes were closed. Time was finished. After she was buried, I went to my room. I looked at my door. The same door she used to open softly. I sat on my bed and cried like a child. I cried for the suhoors I missed, for the iftars we did not share, for the moments I thought could wait. For weeks after, I woke up at suhoor time without an alarm. For 1 second every morning, I thought I heard her in the kitchen. Then I remembered, and the silence felt heavier than ever. The next Ramadan came. The house was quiet again. No plates, no smell of tea. On the first iftar, I set 2 plates on the table, one for me and one for her. I do not know why. Maybe I wanted to feel she was still there. When the adhan played, I broke my fast and cried, because I finally understood something. Ramadan was never about the food. It was about the love around the table. That month, I came home early, even though she was no longer there. I helped my sister cook. I called relatives. I prayed more. Not because I was perfect, but because I did not want another regret. One night in prayer, I remembered her words. Ramadan is a guest. And I realized something. My mother was also a guest in my life. She came, she loved, she gave, and then she left. If you are listening to my story, and your mother is still alive, go sit with her. Even if you are busy, even if you are tired, Time does not wait. Ramadan does not wait. Life does not wait. Love is not something you postpone. I still see her in my dreams. Sometimes she is in the kitchen, smiling. Ahmed, it is time. I wake up. But the house is quiet. The last Ramadan with my mother was not perfect. I was not the best son. I did not say everything I should have said, but it was a gift. A gift I did not see until it was gone. Now every Ramadan I cook extra food and give it to neighbors. I wake up early. I pray for her, and when I open my door in the morning, I whisper softly, "It is time, Mama." Her voice still lives in my heart. If I could go back, I would sit longer, listen more, work less, love louder. But I cannot go back, so I tell this story instead. Maybe this Ramadan you will look at your mother and see the blessing before it becomes a memory.